Hello everyone, I am Nandini Priya, physiotherapist from Astra RV Hospital. Now I am going to speak about the post-operative physical activity and exercises, structured exercises protocol for the cardiac surgery patient. Post-operative care is very important to regain the pulmonary efficiency as well as to reduce the hospital stay. Why do we need a post-operative care? Why do we need to influence the patient to get back to their normal life and physical activities? What are the things that we do immediately after the post-operative? We have two bases, that is immediate ICU care, and second is the patient when they shifted to in ward, that from the ICU to the ward. So what do we do immediately after the surgery? That is in ICU. We do a chest physiotherapy as well as early mobility, and to prevent chest infection, we train them a splinted coughing techniques, and to improve the early mobility, we make the patient to sit at the edge of the bed and move around how much ever they are possible. And if the patient achieves all these things, once their vitals are very stable, they will be shifted to the ward side. In ward, we continue the basic chest physiotherapy along with to prevention of the chest infections. We tell them the splinted coughing techniques as well as we influence more on the breathing exercises, and later on we influences the circulatory exercises from the day one of the operations to improve to not to end up in any further complications of pulmonary or cardiac complications, as well as we influence them to enter into physical activity like early mobility, like just walking how much ever they are possible to do it. At the end of the discharge, we make the patient to achieve at least 100 steps in a day, or else we achieve them to do a staircase climbing at the end of the discharge. Followed by we tell the home care exercises what and all to be done for the patient, basic self-free exercises post-operatively, and how to care the chest hygiene, that is to have efficiency of the splinted cough technique. Once the suture is healed, they can do cough technique, and sutural care is very important to prevent the infections or any oozing not to form while doing the exercises, followed by a lot of breathing exercises. The breathing exercises are listed as diaphragmatic breathing exercises or normal breathing exercises, maximal inspiration exercises followed by expiratory exercises, and we do give inspiratory or expiratory devices called incentive spirometer to the patient, followed by the basic normal expiratory techniques like paper blow, balloon blow. According to the patient efficiency, we do individually tailor the program for the patient needs, and followed by the what we should instruct to the patient when they go to home care. What are the signs of exertion when they go to the home? So when they perform the exercises, so when they see the heart rate is going above the level and the palpitation is too much, they should stop it. And when they go for breathlessness, signs of exertion is too much, they have to stop it. When they feel fatigueness or giddiness above normal, they should stop it. And always in the initial days, they should always have a support or a patient attender to be with them to monitor the exercises, and they should not end up in any complications. So if these are all present, they have to immediately contact to the doctors and consult it. Post-op care includes CPT, chest physiotherapy, early mobility, and sutural or incisional care, wound care, and also hemodynamic vital stability has to be monitored. Initially, the patient after post-operative status, they will have chances of secretions getting settled in the chest. Initially, they will not be able to influence by themselves, so we assist them to moving the secretions from the lungs aspect. We influence them giving a chest physiotherapy. In the lying supine aspect, we give in the upper lobe like this, and we keep talking to the patient. If you have any pain at any point, please do tell me, sir. And in the middle aspect and in the lower aspect. This is called a percussion, followed by a vibration technique. Very mild vibratory techniques on the initial post-operative days. So this is called chest physiotherapy, followed by we tell the patients to do a deep breathing exercises. Initially, we give a a incisional care support. We use a chest binder. For now I keep a cloth or a bed sheet on top of the, considering this as an incision site, and ask the patient to breathe in. So slowly breathe in and breathe out. How much ever it is possible immediately after the surgery he has to do it. Followed by he has to do a splintered coughing technique, holding this binder and slowly breathe in, followed by a coughing. Yeah, so again breathing. In this way the sputum will come out of him. And the upper limb activities or exercises the patient has to do it. First is fingers closing and opening. 1 and 2. And wrist up and down, flexion and extension of the wrist and wrist rotation. Minding the lines and the tubes, we will alterate or modify the exercises as well. And elbow flexion and extension. And shoulder abduction and the adduction in the short lever at that elbow bent position. 1 and 2, how much ever the patient is able to do it. On the opposite side. And shoulder flexion in the short lever position, how much ever the patient is able to do, minding the lines and the tubes attached to the patient. 1 and 2. Followed by all the breathing exercises that has been already demonstrated in the pre-operative exercises, the deep breathing exercise, the diaphragmatic breathing exercises, pursed lip breathing, and followed by the incentive spirometer devices will be influenced immediately after the post-operative surgery. As the graft will be taken from the leg aspect, to prevent the circulatory issues, the patient has to do lot of leg exercises. First is crawling the toes up and down like this. 1 and 2, as many number repetitions they can. Second is ankle pumps, moving your ankle up and down to improve the blood circulations. And slowly available range of knee joint, bending the knees up and down as much they can. This has to be gradually increased on the henceforth days. From the day 1 to the gradually they have to increase this. To move out of bed, they has to also do the legs out and in like abduction and adduction. This will improve the patient to get out of the bed easily on their own with the less support of us. They can do sliding the bed initial days, later on they can do practice on the air. Now I am going to explain on the home care exercises and the advice and the precautions has to be carried away. First is the warm-up exercises. The warm-up exercises, you should increase the pulse rate and the heart rate on the minimal, increasing the pulse raising movement. Simple walking also can do it, but it should be a brisk walking for minimum 5 to 10 minutes. In a slow speed pace. Yes. Second is going to be your stretching. Stretching also improves the flexibility of the muscle and releases the fascia of the surgical aspect and also keeps you physically fit, and it relieves your pain also. First is going to be your upper body stretch. First is going to be you have to extend your both the arms together, clasping like this, and push your shoulder forward like this. And hold the stretch for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and relax. And as much you can also, you can hold it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the same it goes to on the second stretch exercise, and you have to lift both the hands on the top, keeping the elbow extended and push it up. Hold it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. And holding both the hands at the back and push the hand backwards, expanding your chest. I'll show you in the back frontal aspect like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. This is going to be upper body stretches, whereas we are going to go for the lower body as well as the waist. Keeping both the hands on the hip, we are going to bend on the sideways and hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As well as that side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And twisting, trunk rotation. This can be goes as a movement as well, and also as the stretches. Goes as movement for first 5 movements, and as well as stretches, just turn and hold, turn and hold. Yes, followed by we are going to go for the calf stretches. Just lean on the wall like this and hold one hand like this in the front aspect like this, and keep your one leg forward and push yourself front and back. Yes. You should feel your calf stretch more. Yes. Right, let's go for the self-free exercises, which you can do it even in the sitting as well as in the standing. I'll first demonstrate on the standing, and you can do in the standing march past immediately, like 1, 2. In the initial days, you can hold any rail of a window, or you can hold any rail. You should hold it, and you should be along with one support. You should ask the patient attendant to be on your side and do it like lifting 1 and 2, supporting your upper limb. Considering this as a holding rail, yes. 1, 2, 1 and 2. Slowly moving your leg forward and the backward like this, and center and back and center. 1 center, 2 center. Now lifting backwards. 1 center, 2 center. This can be done even in the sideways, up, side and down. 1, 2, 1 and 2. Okay. Now we go for the quadricep stretches, holding one hand on the rail and one hand on the leg and stretching it back. Hold the stretches as much you can, but minimum of 10 seconds or 10 count, and relax. And standing in straight, and you have to do the side reach to improve the mobility of your trunk muscles and the hip like this. 1 and 2. And 2. 2. Followed by the shoulder shruggings, which can influence your physical activity more. Back and down. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Now we will look into the home exercises care after the discharge from the hospital. First we will see the self-free exercises activities in the sitting seated position. First is going to be the ankle pump, tapping your ankle up and down. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Followed by sitting ankle circles, that is rotation of your ankle clockwise and anti-clockwise. Followed by seated straight leg raise, straightening your knee. 1 and 2. Followed by seated marching. 1 and 2. Now we will see about the trunk exercises. On sitting, clasping both the hand in the forward, sitting trunk twist for your upper body. 1 and 2. Followed by sitting trunk side bend, keeping your hand closer to the chair. 1 and 2. Now we will look into for the shoulder, double arm front rise, keeping both the hands forward and raising the arm forward and the down. 1 and 2. This can be done with the wide opening hand also. 1 and 2. This works along with the chest. Now we will look into the shoulder shrugs or else roll backs. Shoulder shrugs, rolling the shoulder back and the forward. 1 and 2. And we will go for the biceps curls, keeping the wrist closed and doing the bicep curl. 1 and 2. This initially we can do with the free hands. Later on we can give them 1 kg dumbbells and increase according to their resistance. Now we will go for the neck exercises. Neck up and down. 1 and 2. and neck turns sideways 1 and 2, followed by the neck bends 1 and 2. Slowly they can do neck rotation. These are all exercises has to be done along with the warm up and the cool down exercises with the minimal brisk walking on every day. The frequency of these exercises at least thrice a day with 10 repetitions of the each exercises. Signs of over exertion: when you have to stop all these exercises or when you have to contact the doctor immediately, when you are finding any chest pain or any chest discomfort or burning or tightness after the surgery or heaviness or unusual aching in your arm, shoulders, neck or jaw, or any catching of your breathing or any skipping or raising of your heart rate above its normal level or extreme fatigueness or any tiredness or lightheadedness, you have to stop the exercises and allow yourself to rest. Even if it is not settling, even immediately you have to contact the doctor or the consultant. Following the ICU care of physiotherapy management, after shifting the patient to ward, the same exercises and regimen has to be followed along with the progression of the exercises, whereas the patient will be sitting at the edge of the bed. Slowly they will be made to walk in the corridor with all the precautions of the mask and the footwears. At the end of the discharge, the patient has to at least achieve the 100 steps of walking as well as the staircase training. The staircase training, right now we will go for the demo. The patient has to hold the rail and the operated leg, that is the graft that which was taken from the leg, has to be not be used first. The unoperated leg, the leg which is not used for the operation, has to be kept first on the steps, followed by the operated leg has to be kept up. And we will be monitoring the patient along with the saturation probe. Any increase in the heart rate above its normal level or any reduction of the oxygenation, we will just stop the exercises and we will shift the patient immediately. We will shift them to the ward.